So when I look backwards, ask God, God told me. He had me mopping floors to teach me humility. For the work that he was preparing me to do, I would have to be humble. I would have to have humility to build Black America's largest and most powerful and most effective network. 40 years of work. So, long prelude to a very profound but simple question. What are some of the keys to succeeding in life? So I'm just going to give you my keys, the things that got me into the Minority Business Hall of Fame and Museum with Earl Graves and who else? Essence Magazine and John H. Johnson of Ebony Magazine. Not bragging, just saying. The thing that allowed me to receive from President Obama in 2016 the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. The thing that got me 3 honorary doctorate degrees. The things, because you get honorary doctorate degrees for your body of work. I'm only saying this because there was no introduction. So I'm just trying to familiarize the 109 participants.
That's right. Yes.
Who's sitting in this seat and who they're getting ready to listen to, right? I laugh and joke, but I don't play. I'm a serious brother. And anybody that has watched my videos on YouTube, anybody that's been to our 19-year-old Power Networking Conference, I am serious as a heart attack, right? But I have a wonderful sense of humor. I love to laugh. My rules for success in life. See failure as the beginning and not the end. Failures are absolutely necessary. Obstacles are necessary. Obstacles are, in fact, your failures. You learn far more from failure than you do from success. I eat failure and obstacles as vitamins. I love it when someone says to me, Dr. Fraser, you can't do that. That's not possible. Oh, really? Watch this.
Exactly.
You see failures as a beginning and not an end. My favorite quote outside of the Bible is from Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius was one of the 5 great Caesars, ruler of the free world back then, 60 BC, no, 60 AD. Marcus Aurelius was one of the founders of the Stoic philosophy. Google it. Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances the action. What stands in your way becomes the way. Let me repeat that for those whose head it went over. The impediment to action advances the action. What stands in your way becomes the way. Let me say that differently. The obstacle is the way. Where there is no obstacle, there is no way. What is the first thing God does when he gives you an assignment that he feels that you're ready for? He puts an obstacle in your way. And your job is to find a way over, around, through, or under the obstacle. And when you do, you get an attaboy and an attagirl. And then God gives you a new assignment at a slightly higher level. And then what is the next thing God does? He puts an obstacle in your way. And your job is to find a way over, around, through, and under the obstacle. Learn the lessons, apply the lessons. And when you look back over your entire life, what you're going to see is a series of overcoming obstacles. Well, brothers and sisters, welcome to life.
Amen.
The obstacle is the way. See failures as the beginning, not the end. Welcome obstacles.
Absolutely.
If it was easy, why would God need you? It's not supposed to be easy. This is what separates the wheat from the chaff. from success, from people who are ultimately successful and people who will not chart the course and will not do the work and will not overcome the obstacles. Let me say that differently. I want to punctuate this point because this is why I am where I am.
Mhm.
I want to punctuate this point with another profundity. Everything you want in life, brothers and sisters, is on the other side of hard. So that's number one. See failures as a beginning and not as an end. Eat them as vitamins. Learn from them. Apply them.
Mhm.
Number two, make peace with your past and
Mhm.
let it go. Let it go. The first thing when you become an adult and you have your head screwed on right, the first thing you need to do is to forgive your parents for the mistakes that they made. And they made mistakes because they're human. And some of those mistakes may still be with you, may still affect, and effect how you think about you. Make peace with that. Let it go. I do not dislike or even think about the toxic foster homes and the toxic parents that abuse and misuse me, my sister, and my younger brother. I blessed and released that a long time ago. Make peace with your past. Make peace with your family. You know, they say that friends are critically important because it's God's way of apologizing for your relatives. You can pick your friends, but you cannot pick your relatives. Some of the most toxic people in your life will be your relatives. Let it go. Let it go. The third thing, and these are all things I had to do. Habits decide your future. Act accordingly. My people, my people, my people, I love them, but we have some bad ass habits. Really bad.
True.
One of those bad ass habits is that we are addicted to instant gratification versus delayed gratification. Let me say that differently. The goal, brothers and sisters, is to win, not to look like you're winning. I would rather carry a plastic bag with $5,000 in it than to carry a $5,000 Louis Vuitton bag with $100 in it. That's just looking like you're winning. You ain't winning. Louis Vuitton is winning. Gucci is winning. Nike is winning. Your black ass ain't winning.
Important for us to talk about here in this investment group.
Preach it, Doc. Preach it, Doc.
That's because too many of us are addicted to instant gratification versus delayed gratification. Now, I understand the psychological trauma and drama that we went through and why we got to look good.
Right.
Yes.
And we ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. I understand.
Right.
I understand the psychological woundedness and scarring. I do understand that. Get over it.
Mhm.
We have some bad habits. Habits will decide your future. We learn differently. We're oral, visual, tactile, kinesthetic, and auditory learners. We're not archival learners. Europeans, white people are archival learners. They write and they read. Leaders are readers. Black people don't read. I don't mean all black people. I didn't say that. Just most black people. Now, more of us are reading than ever before. More of us are writing than ever before.
True. That's right.
But there's a whole psychological history on why we don't read, too. There was an interesting statistic I saw, um, Dr. Waddell, and I pray to God that it is not true. 64% of African Americans, once they graduate from college, never read another book in their life. I pray to God that that is not true. The average American reads one book a year. If you read one book a month in 5 years, you will have read 60 books, and the average American will have only read 5. You're going to be better prepared. You're going to be smarter.
Mhm.
We have to read. We must teach our children to read. It's one of the first things we must do as responsible parents. I have 2 beautiful sons. I paid them to read. I took them to Barnes and Noble. I said, buy anything you want. I don't care if it's a comic book. Read it and I'll give you 50 cents.
Mm.
Learn a new word and I'll give you $1 if you can use it in a sentence.
Exactly. Incentivize it.
My children saw me reading instead of watching television. If you were to meet my 2 sons today, beautiful, handsome, married children, you'll never see them without a book. The only gift we give to each other, my sons and I, my wife thinks it's crazy. The only gift we give to each other is a book. On Christmas, they knew exactly what they were getting from Pop. A book. So they are readers. I read 100 books a year. I'm in my office. You see what's behind me?
Yes.
There's 1,000 books behind me. There's 16,000 in my house, and my wife is going to divorce me if I bring another 100 books in that house because she thinks I'm replacing her with books.
I'm sorry. One second. Dr. Fraser, you said you read 100 books a year, like
I
even
read
right now.
100 books a year,
Wow.
about 2 a week. I got a stack of books. If I can show you, I got a stack of books over here. These are, I probably have a stack of books by my bed that I'm getting to read.
Mm.
Right? I just buy them.
Yeah. What are you
And
reading
I
right
like to read them. I don't like audiobooks. I like the tactile touch of books because I like to mark them up. I like to dog ear them. I like to go back to them and reference them because I'm also a writer. And you can't be a writer without reading.
True.
I've written 6 best-selling books. Again, not bragging. I'm just saying.
X?
That's a badass habit. Break that habit, brothers and sisters. Read. Leaders are readers. And readers are leaders. It's a bad habit. Now, those are just 2. Habits decide your future. Act accordingly. Manage your money. That's a whole nother subject. We could pick up on that at another time. Number 4, if you don't go after it, you won't have it.
Yeah.
The Bible tells us what? Want not, ask not.
Mhm.
If you want it, really, go after it. Nora Jean Fraser, my gorgeous wife of 47 years.
Wow.
I met her at a Black Expo, and she was a Pepsi Cola host. Her booth was across from my booth. And she just turned me on just looking at her. And I wanted her.
You went after her, did you not?
I went after her. And I still have her 47 years
There's
later.
the important part.
That's right.
That's what I'm talking about.
I hear you.
If you want it, go after it. If you want to start a business, start a business. Don't just talk about it and pontificate ad nauseum about it. Start a business. Start with what you have and where you are.
Mhm.
Start a business. It's not that difficult. And it's absolutely critical to our people. There are 2.6 million Black-owned businesses in America.
Yes.
over the last 5-year reporting period from the U.S. Census Bureau. That's up about 40% over the last 5-year reporting period. And most of that growth is from who? Black women. Black women are opening 60% of the new businesses.
That's right.
111,000 of those businesses employ somebody. Only 111,000 out of 2.6 million. The annual gross revenue of those 111,000 businesses, annual revenue, is about $1.1 million a year. That's up about 11% over the last 5-year reporting period. That means 2.59 million of our businesses are sole proprietorships. That's where all the growth is. That's how you start. You plant a seed. Everything begins as a seed. The challenge with that is that the average annual revenue of our 2.59 million sole proprietorship business, in other words, they don't employ anybody, the annual revenue is only $18,700 a year, which is below the poverty line. What's the point? Grow or die. Grow or die. Those that are employing, right? Those who are getting assistance and extending and expanding and scaling their businesses, they are growing. Let me say this to our brothers and sisters who are in business. If you don't have a system, you don't have a business. I don't know what you have, but you don't have a business. A business is a system. A system is replication and scaling, right? But if you want a business, there's a ton of help. And if you're really serious about your business and you've got the juice to do it, there's money too.
That's true.
There's money too. In fact, excellence finds money. It attracts money. Money is attracted to excellence. You don't have to start big. You can start small, start as a seed with the idea that you are going to grow. So go after it. Whatever it is you want in life, go after it. If you can dream it, if you can think it, God has put into you the tools and the resources necessary to have it, or you just wouldn't be able to think about it. I've never thought about being a rocket scientist. I ain't got it like that. I hated physics, right? So if you don't go after it, you won't have it. Go after it. It's there for you. And by the way, you're awesome. You should know that. I hope you know that. Black people, I hope black people know how awesome they are.
That's right.
I know we've been psyched out about socks, right? And I know that most of us really do not understand who we really are, that we are the children of the slaves that would not die, that we have the genetic encoding of the great kings and queens of Africa, that we were building pyramids and solving complex engineering problems when other cultures were living in caves eating each other. Yes. In spite of the fact that America kept its foot on our throat for 350 years, we overcame that and we rose like the phoenix. So if you think about this deeply, if everything happens for a reason and serves us in some special way, and you'll never understand the reason looking forward, you'll only understand it looking backwards. If that is true, and it is true, then maybe we were not brought here. Maybe we were sent here. Do you believe that God would put his weakest people here to do his toughest job? I don't think so. How could an America who could morally, spiritually, biblically justify the kidnapping, raping, and pillaging of another two people, natives already in America and Africans brought to America, have any moral or spiritual grounding? And perhaps had God not sent Africans here, America might have self-destructed by now.
Good point. Truly
That's
true.
how awesome and powerful we are. We are God's first people. That is no BS.
That's right. That's right.
Amen and amen. Tell it.
That's right. Wow.
So that was 4. Number 5. Earn, save, and invest before you spend. Tithe to you. Yes, tithe to your church, but tithe to you first. Spend what's left over after you earn it and save it and invest it.
Yeah.
I learned that as a little entrepreneur, selling Kool-Aid and lemonade, very sweet. So people would want more. And then I sold little cups of water for 3 cents. I sold the Kool-Aid for 10 cents and I sold the water for 3 cents. And with the money I made on my corner, I took out 40% of that and put it away. Not 10% of it, right? 40% of it, and saved it and invested in little things that I wanted that I knew my toxic foster parents wouldn't get for me. So that's what I did. And then I did the same thing when I graduated in entrepreneurship, and I opened up a male babysitting service. Now remember, this is back in the early 60s, and only girls were doing babysitting. Well, I said, well, maybe parents may want a young man to babysit a young man. I made a fortune. And then I opened up a domestic cleaning service for old people because I knew old people wanted their homes clean, but they just didn't have the energy to do it. I made so much money. I had to employ, you can ask my sister Emma, I had to employ my siblings to do the work. They got 60%, I got 40%. And then I opened up a car cleaning service. I would wash and polish a car for old people. You had to be over 65.
I love it.
And each one of those little jobs, I learned to save, take off the top what I needed to save, needed to invest in the way I wanted to invest it, and then I spent the rest. Earn, save, and invest before you spend. We have it ass backwards,
Yeah.
right? It is interesting to me that rich people spend a lot of time looking poor, while poor people spend a lot of time looking rich.
Huh, boy, y'all are-
That's backwards.
We understand why. We need to fix that. All right, I'm getting to the last two because my job was not to monopolize this conversation, but
No, please, sir.
It's all
Please.
about you, sir.
Yeah.
Now I touched on this earlier. This is hugely important. Avoid negative people. Avoid negative people. Life is too short. The most successful people that I've met in life, from the Oprahs of the world to the Colin Powells of the world, to movie stars and business stars, they have a very important thing that they're able to do that less than successful people can't do. And that is the ability to remove toxic people and bloodsuckers from their life, people who drain you of your time, talent, and energy. Remove toxic people from your life. Your relationships are everything. You will not get where you want in life without the proper relationships in your life. And these will be people who will platoon in and out of your life. There are very few people that will be in your life from zero until you die. There's only one person left in my life who's been with me from the orphanage to right now, and that is my sister, Dr. Emma Fraser Pendleton. All right? So relationships. I've written 6 best-selling books on this subject. Introduce me to your 5 closest friends, and that will tell me who you are. As they know, as they go, so go you. Don't spend major time with minor people. People going nowhere want you to go nowhere with them. People doing nothing want you to do nothing with them. If you want to change your life, change your relationships. In fact, if you are not where you wanted life, brothers and sisters, is because you have not put the right relationships in your life. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Your relationships, your close circle of friends, they are everything. And this is especially important when it comes to business. Are you kidding me? Let me say it differently. Business is about relationships. Without relationships, you have no business. Without relationships, you have no business being in business. In fact, the business you are really in case no one has ever told you, is the business of building relationships.
Okay.
And you better get really good at that. And if you plan to lead, in addition to building incredible relationships at work, at home, and in the community, what I call your at-home network, your operational network, and your strategic network, right? You've got to get good at building all three of those networks throughout your entire life. And the better you are at that, the more successful you will be in life. But you must match that with a very high EQ. And as you grow older and wiser, you're going to find out that your emotional intelligence, your EQ, will be more important than your IQ.
Oh, that's so true. That's good.
Absolutely.
What is your EQ? Your ability to manage your five most important emotions and use the management of those emotions to cultivate, nurture, and to build relationships at work, at home, and in the community. I don't care how smart you are. If you have the personality of a box of rocks, you ain't going no damn where in life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you could be a rocket scientist,
Right.
but people don't like you.
Knock that into you.
Try to work with that. Let's
Exactly.
see how that works, how well that works for you in real life.
Right. It's true.
Avoid negative people, select the right people, spend more time networking and selecting the right people and kicking people out of your damn life.
Mm.
Life is too short.
That's right.
Finally, never compare yourself to other people. Your thumbprint is unique. Everything about you is unique. There has never been a human being on the planet in the history of the world exactly like you.
Mm.
That's not BS. No one has had the same confluence of experiences in the time sequences in which you have had them, under the circumstances in which you experience those sequences. There's nobody on earth like that but you. Don't compare yourself to anybody. You are unique. And God is preparing you for something unique to you. Your job is to have the willingness to work hard enough to travel the circuitous path, the hills and valleys, the twists and turns, to learn the lessons, to fail fast, to use the lessons, and to become who God has put you here to be and to do the work that He has assigned to only you.
Mm-hmm.
Or you say, well, I'm a teacher. There are a lot of teachers. Yeah, there are a lot of teachers, but no one teaches like you because they're not you.
That's right.
Never compare yourself to anybody. You'll live a more fulfilling and a more effective life. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Those are words to live by and thrive. Absolutely.
Amen.
All
Amen.
day. All day. Well, listen, Dr. Fraser, I really wanted to ask you, it sounds like you have an eye for finding the niche job or the niche opportunity. What do you see as the best niche businesses for Black folks going forward here into this fourth industrial revolution?
Let me say it this way. When everything is ready, it's too late.
Now that's a word. Did you hear that in the back, people? Say that again for the people in the back.
When everything is ready, it's too late. There's a beautiful Chinese proverb that says the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. But the second best time to plant a tree is right now. There's unlimited opportunity out here. Unlimited opportunity. In fact, there's more opportunity than there is or are brothers and sisters prepared enough to seize that opportunity. So let me say it this way. We don't lack opportunities, brothers and sisters. What we lack is capacity. So the 21st century for us must be about building our capacity to take advantage of the incredible opportunities that are out here. In spite of all the isms in America, it's unlimited opportunity.
Absolutely.
So let me give you 6 or 7 places if you're thinking entrepreneurs and you're looking for emerging industries. We don't need another barbecue place unless you're going to open 1,000 of them.
Amen.
And I think there's enough barbershops. Love barbershops. I go to them. But if you're going to open 1,000 barbershops, you're going to have a global chain of barbershops. I'm loving you.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to license them or franchise them, right? And you're going to put a system for giving the baddest haircuts to brothers and sisters and having the best conversations with brothers and sisters in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can go into barbershop business. We certainly need to take back the beauty care industry. Oh, God. I feel so ashamed what happened to that. Right? I mean, my God, when I was growing up, it was nothing but black companies producing black hair care products, selling black stuff to black people. We owned, beginning with Madam C.J. Walker, the beauty care industry.
That's true.
A $25 billion industry, and we gave it to the Asians. And they don't use that shit. We're 99% of their customers. So we're the consumers, they're the producers.
Right.
Indeed.
What's up with that? How did that happen? What were we thinking?
Yeah.
So we need to take back that industry. And there's a couple of brothers around the country just awesome in doing that. We need to take back that industry, $25 billion industry. We need to take back that industry. But let me give you some other emerging industries. Esports.
Yes.
Esports. Huge. Going to be bigger than movies. Esports.
I agree.
Absolutely right.
Here's another one for all you church-going people. You can close your ears. I'm going to tell you what it is. You know what it is. Weed. Cannabis.
Cannabis.
They're predicting in about 7 to 10 years, 50 billion.
Yeah.
We're going to smoke it. Why not sell it? Now, don't let what happened in my generation happen to your generation, young brothers and sisters. There was a liquor store and a church on every corner in the black neighborhood. They were all owned by white people. We just drank the liquor. We didn't own one damn liquor store. Don't let there be a cannabis place in every, or 3 or 5 or 10, in every hood, right? And all you doing is smoking it.
Okay, let's get off of the consumer track. Yeah.
Right. Another area, emerging area, financial technology.
Yes.
Fintech.
Fintech. Designing banking and financial services, all for the thing that's going to control the world anyway. Everything's going here.
That's right.
It's all going here.
That's right.
Fintech, huge industry. Blockchain and smart contracts. The whole cryptocurrency world is going to turn this economy upside down. I'm already involved in Ethereum.
Awesome.
I'm buying Ethereum.
Awesome.
I miss
That's right.
Bitcoin because I listened to all the fools.
Yeah.
I could have got it at $7 a coin.
Wow.
I missed it.
Wow. Yikes.
Missed it.
Wow.
I ain't missing Ethereum.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
All right.
Okay.
Another couple. You know, now this is all, you know, that a lot of the stuff is tech based.
Yes.
Well, we better get into STEM, right? We better science, technology, engineering, and math, not only learn it, but think about it entrepreneurially. You know, the last 10 billionaires in America have come out of the tech industry, right? So let's think technology. Big data analytics is going to be massive.
Massive. Yes.
And anybody learning the algorithms and the software for that, and how to, you're gonna have, you will have business until the earth is burned up by the sun. Big data analytics.
Mm-hmm.
You get degrees in it. You can go to schools and get, technical certificates in it. Huge.
Huge.
Robotics.
Mhm.
Going to go crazy. Even if all you do is repair the damn robots.
Right. Right.
Wow, that's a good point.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Right? You don't have to make the robots,
That's a good point.
right? You don't have to make cars to own a franchise, or to own 10 automobile repair shops.
Mm-hmm.
That's
You
right.
make $1 million a year. Robotics. How do they work? How do you fix them? Who's fixing them? Learn the technology. Start your own damn business.
Absolutely.
Electric cars.
Mm,
These are
that's
huge
right.
industries. It's all going
So
there.
true.
It's all going there. What do you know about it?
Yeah.
What can you do in it? How can you get a piece of that? It's all going there. That's where it's going. When everything is ready, it's too late. What are you doing? What are you thinking? How are you training? Because it's all going there. These are emerging industries. This is where stuff is going. And then the final one is online education.
That's right. Yeah.
This pandemic has
That's
made
right.
that really clear.
Absolutely.
Sure
Really
did.
clear.
Sure did.
Online education. Massive.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So brothers and sisters, you better man up. You better woman up. Right? You don't want to end up being the next generation of consumers, because we are the consumption class in America, black people, and they are the merchant class. They make stuff, we buy stuff. No. We got to flip the script on them. And those are the 8 industries that make some sense.
Agreed. Agreed. And Dr. Fraser, we have a question here for you, if you're ready to take a few questions.
Was that Charlie Wilson? I saw a Charlie Wilson pop up there.
Charlie Wilson is here. Is that Charlie?
Right.
That
Hey,
the
Charlie, will he sing a song for us? I'm just kidding.
Is that other
Yes,
Charlie?
you got to be old school. You got to be old school to understand that. You know what I'm saying?
we will give Charlie the mic.
Go ahead. Give Charlie the mic. All right, go ahead.
But question though, what books would you recommend we read? That's one of the questions in the Q&A.
See, now I'm going to tell you a book, but it's going to sound self-serving.
It's just the answer. Just
All
the
right.
facts, right?
1994, I wrote Success Runs in Our Race, the complete guide to effective networking in the African American community.
Mm-hmm.
It is a modern day classic. It is required reading at 57 historically black colleges. It is the book that started the networking conversation in Black America and ultimately started the networking movement.
Okay.
You heard me say that one of the most important things in your life will be your relationships and your ability to effectively build those relationships and network. Get that book. That's basic reading. Okay. Success Runs in Our Race. You can get it on Amazon. You get a paperback copy for $10. You can get a hardback copy if you want, but Success Runs in Our Race, the complete guide to effective networking in the African American community. Now, if you want to a book, if you've read that book, and many, over 1 million copies have been sold, you might want to get another book I wrote called Click, 10 Truths for Building Extraordinary Relationships. This is for advanced networking. Let's call this Networking 2.0.
Got it.
Success Runs in Our Race is Networking 1.0. Okay? So beyond those two books on building relationships, there are two other books I recommend. Emotional Intelligence 2.0. Emotional Intelligence 2.0. Get that book and read it 3 times, and your life will change forever.
Okay.
You will have to take an exam. They send you to a website when you buy the book. There's a code in the book. Take the exam before you read the book, then you take the exam after you read the book. Emotional Intelligence 2.0. And the other book I recommend that you read is The Power of Habit. The Power of Habit. It is the algorithm and the anatomy of bad habits. It breaks it apart. It then teaches you how to create new and good habits. We are a function, I said it earlier, of our habits. Hopefully you have more good habits than bad habits. If you have more bad habits than good habits, you're probably not on this call. You're probably out drinking somewhere, or without a mask, or talking in people's face and spitting on them. All right, I'm sorry.
Oh, gosh. But again, just the facts, right? Just saying. Oh, goodness. All right. Well, are those your 4? I put them all in the chat.
There you go.
Chat.
There you go.
We got a couple more questions here. It says, could we design and build our own currencies, deal with our own powerhouse ancestors?
Yeah.
Powerhouse.
Yeah, absolutely. I recommend that. Was that Charlie B who said that? Who asked that?
That was Tendenico Jones.
Kendon?
Help me out. Tendenico Jones.
Kendonico?
Uh-huh.
Kendonico, I'm going to give you some advice, my brother. Or maybe I think you're a brother. I think that is a freaking awesome idea.
I agree.
Do it.
There you go.
What you waiting for? You just talked about it. Want not, ask not. Start it. You know how you're going to start it? Start writing a paper on it. Start putting your ideas down on paper. Start talking to people about it. Of course we can do that. There are 42 million of us in America, 46 million in America, and there are 1.4 billion Black people in the world. So yeah.
Okay.
That's a good idea, my brother. Start it. Do it.
It's a sister. She just clarified.
Oh, sister?
Yes.
Oh,
A single mom,
oh,
not a
well,
brother.
then I should. I didn't even have to say that, because the sister gonna start it.
Get it, girl. You heard it. Let's see what else we have here. It says, this is Antoine Hines says, what if we invest in 50 Black families that have 5 generations in 50 states and get into those 8 industries you spoke of? Can that be a key strategy to close the wealth gap?
Hell yeah.
That sounds really good.
That's that's wonderful. You're making me cough. You're making me cough. That's exactly right. See, you got some really right. So you got a bunch of entrepreneurs on there, because this is the
absolutely.
project, right?
Yes,
So they're thinking entrepreneurial, right? That's one of the requirements when you join Fraser Nation. Fraser Nation citizens of generational wealth who are committed to demonstrated excellence, equity and investment, and entrepreneurial thinking. What is, I didn't say entrepreneurship, I said entrepreneurial thinking. What is entrepreneurial thinking? Taking a risk, taking responsibility, and taking ownership for your own life. When we begin to think like that collectively as a people, that can morph into entrepreneurship. But we first got to get our heads right.
Got it.
So you've got a bunch of entrepreneurial thinking and entrepreneurial types on this this Zoom call tonight,
Absolutely.
right?
Still here
And
113 strong or 16 strong.
yeah,
Awesome.
right,
Excellent.
that's right.
Excellent.
So these are all. This is the ideas are flowing, and this. There was a question asked of me. I went off on a tangent. I'm trying to remember what the question was. What was the question? What was the question? Did somebody ask the question?
I think you confirmed it. They had the numbers about the 50 people, and let me go back.
Oh yeah. It was
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's a wonderful idea.
Brilliant. Absolutely. Sounds
Yeah,
like the numbers have been done
that's
and
great.
everything.
Do it. Do it. Want not, ask not. Do it. If you can think of it, you can do it.
Amen.
That's right.
Well, here's another take here from Dr. Fabulous says, why is it so difficult to convince Black people that we have dynamic Black leaders? We don't always have to look to white people for leadership advice.
Yeah, and so I want to say this and still be loved. But that's because Black people are out of their natural minds. I said that earlier. I just said it a different way. We are out of our natural minds. So until we are in our right minds, we're focusing on the right things, we're reading the right things, we have helped the world understand that Europeans did not pull us out of trees in Africa eating bananas and civilize us. That's total bullshit. Go to Cairo, Egypt.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And by the way, in case nobody told you, Egypt is in Africa.
That's right.
It was African 6,000 years before Christ.
That's right.
They built the pyramids. When you go down into the Valley of the Kings and you go into the tombs and you see the paintings on the walls of Africans that died 5,000 years before Christ, they're all different colors, from blue black, like my jacket, right, to every color shade of blackness we have in this world, right? They were Africans, right? They were Africans. And so until we understand that white people did not civilize Black people,
That's good.
we actually civilized them, but they flipped the script to make us less than human, 3/5 of a man, right? So that they could be justified through Christianity for inventing the most egregious, hateful form of slavery in the history of humankind. And they're still dealing with the angst of that original sin to this day.
That's right.
Indeed. That's what we're going through. Yeah. And we are in a moment.
Wow.
We are in a moment. All right. All right.
Well, it's 8:46. It's 8:46. Nora Jean just called me. I told her I was going to be home for dinner.
All right. Look,
But she's the wife. Spence. She's the wife of an entrepreneur.
there you go.
So she knows better than that.
But listen.
Right?
Nevertheless, Dr. Fraser, we don't want you to get you in we don't get you in any trouble. Okay. But let me just say this, okay? I just want to say this. This to me, even though we're using this modern technology, we're on Zoom, talking to you on our laptops and our tablets and our phones. I'll be honest, modern technology aside, this to me has just been a magical night. That's how I really feel. I really feel like that. I really feel like I've sat around and it's felt like in more of an ancient time of listening to a sage just give real sage wisdom. It's just been nourishing. I just want to tell you, I thank you so much. And I want to say this about you, Dr. Fraser. Listen, you're a very accomplished man. You're a very busy man, but still you take the time out for things like this to speak to your people. I can't tell you how much I commend you and thank you for doing that. It really means a lot, because we know a lot of people who haven't done a smidgen of what you have done and accomplished wouldn't take the time to do this. And just thank you so much. I can just tell from the comments, you really had a real impact on these people who have come in tonight to listen to you. So just thank you so much for that.
Eric, let me close with this. And Dr. Waddell, you've been gracious, and
Thank you.
I just want to say to you, and I say this with love, you're really easy on the eyes too.
Oh, God bless you.
Agree.
Right?
I think that's recorded too. I'll take that.
You're really easy on the eyes, and that's why I was staring in. I was trying to stare into the camera, but I was actually looking at you.
Oh.
And listen, I am well married and harmless, right? Right? I know beauty when I see it, right? And I'll call it out. And Eric, call it out every time you see a fine sister, a smart fine sister. Call it out. Call it out.
I got it. You got it.
Let me make our participants an offer. Our Power Networking Conference was supposed to be in October. It's our 19th conference. Forbes named it one of the top 5 Black conferences in America, not to be missed. It was supposed to be in July. We had to postpone it to October. It was in Houston. It's in Houston, and we just can't do it. We cannot bring 1,500 Black people to Houston at this moment in time, because Black lives really do matter, and we have the highest propensity. So we've made a decision. I say all that to say we've made a decision to make the conference virtual. It's going to be October 27th through, is it 27? Yeah, 27, 28, 29, October, 3 days. We're going to make it virtual. It's going to be thebomb.com, the baddest virtual conference you've ever experienced in life. Okay? So I want to invite our brothers and sisters to join us on the virtual conference. There'll be all kinds of promotion on it. Don't worry about that. You'll hear about it. We're putting it all together now. Now, you can come to the virtual conference for free if you are a registrant of the Power Networking Conference, which is next year. We have postponed it to next year. Let us pray, right?
I know, right?
Unbelievable conference, right? As I said, Forbes named it as one of the top 5 conferences in America not to be missed. The conference is $1,500. We sell it out every year. If you met one person that could change the trajectory of your life, would that be worth $1,500? The answer to that is held to the yes. Yes, it would be. You'll meet more than one. You'll have an experience that you cannot explain when you get home, when you come live to the conference. Virtual is a different thing. It'll be great. But because our conference is very high touch, and I can't touch you that way. I can engage you, but I can't touch you. At the conference, we touch you. It's a different thing. I want to make you an offer. If you're on this call, you're smart enough on this call to stay and listen to my craziness, I want to make you an offer. The conference is $1,500. It's next July 14th, or 14th through this 18th, something like that. You'll get all the details. We just changed it. It's in Houston, Texas. If you take advantage of coming to the conference offer that I'm going to make you now, you'll be able to come to the virtual conference for free. So you'll get the virtual conference for nothing, and you'll get the full live conference for a very special offer. It's $1,500 for a single adult registration. Here's what I want to offer. If you take advantage right now, this is for 5 people only, because this is a crazy, crazy, crazy offer. It's for the first 5 people. I will give you a full adult registration and a student registration. A student registration is $700 by itself. An adult registration is $1,500. That's $2,300. I'm going to give you an adult registration, and you can bring a young person 17 to 25 with you for $399. That's a $1,900 discount. So you get the live conference next year. Hopefully it's going to be safe. And you get the virtual conference coming up in October, which you would normally have to pay for. People who are not registrants have to pay for it. People who are registrants don't have to pay for it. So that's the offer. It's good for 5 people, the first 5 people. And there's only one way to get it. You have to email me. And in your email, put your name, obviously, and your cell number. In the body of the email, put in the subject line, I'm in. The first 5 people, because all emails are timestamped, the first 5 people get this $1,900 discount offer and the free virtual conference, okay? First 5 people. So you can email me at gfraser@frasernet.com. That's gfraser@frasernet.com. That's Fraser, gfraser@frasernet.com. So you come to the conference and you come to the virtual conference and you get $1,900 off. And it's for the first 5 people. That's my offer. I do that out of love.
Wow.
And I do that because I want you near me.
Wow. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you, Doc.
It's tremendous. Thank you so much for your time. And family, thank you so much for staying with us. It definitely was well worth it. This is being recorded and we will be in touch with you with that information. Watch the 10K, Black 10K project on social media. We will probably have that posted there, and certainly visit our YouTube channel, the 10K project. All right, thank you so much for your time, and we will take advantage of that opportunity. At least 5 of us, I think, right? All right, enjoy the wine.
There's 3 already. That's fast.
Oh,
Take care.
Okay.
Love you all. Keep
Bye-bye.
doing God's work. Keep doing God's work. Hang in there.
To be
Thank you,
sure.
Doc.
All right.
All right.
God bless you.
Love you,
Great
Doc.
work you're doing. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.